Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Beacon, our actual play of the Alien RPG here with the Stream Punks.
We're good.
Should I stop?
No, we're good.
We're live?
Lag. Yep.
Are we good? Okay.
Hey.
All right, I'll just take it from the top.
Yep. One more time with Feely.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Beacon, our Alien TTRPG live play here with the Stream Punks. We are back after a week hiatus, and we're kind of, it's kind of like the cats are away right now, because Noir is the captain of the ship right now. Noir is running Althaven, and Jake can't stop us. It kind of feels like Dad's not here, and... So it's entirely possible that by the end of the episode, Althaven is going to be renamed, I don't know, like Pokemon Yowie, and it's going to be, yeah, something like that. So anyway, hello, everybody. It's good to see everyone back. We're ready to get into the next chapter tonight. A very intense couple of sessions that we've had these past couple of game sessions. But before we do, we wanted to just thank everybody for showing up tonight. Also, I wanted to give a personal shout out and thank you to everyone who absolutely inundated me with all of your annoying affection yesterday. It was a lot of fun doing the
Happy
streams.
effing birthday, Eric effing Campbell.
Happy
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, I hit another level. So thank you for that.
Okay.
And yeah, let me see. Do I have any announcements? Oh, just to give everyone a heads up, it's not really an announcement, but we wanted to let everybody know that we do have currently in production. We are currently working on one-shots that we unlocked with the fundraiser that we did for Doctors Without Borders. I myself have a Council of Worms game that we're going to be doing, which is one of my all-time favorite settings in all of TTRPG. It has been since I was a kid. It was my favorite D&D setting next to Dragonlance. And if you're not familiar, Council of Worms was an AD&D setting that came out just before AD&D went out of print. And it is a setting where the players get to play dragons. So it is and it's a game setting that can plug into any other D&D world. It's really cool. It takes place on an entirely separate island chain. Really awesome history. I'm a huge fan. There have been some lovely fan conversions of it. We played it, Sam and I, during my first trip out to D&D in a castle back in 2019, and we've kind of wanted to play it ever since. So that's coming up. Also, very excited to announce that we have a Doctor Who one-shot coming up, and we are going to be doing Doctors and Daleks, and I'll keep everyone posted when those are coming up. And just to give you a little bit of a spoiler, and a big thank you to everyone who contributed to our fundraiser, the Doctors and Daleks game is going to be in continuity with all of the stories that we played over on Geek and Sundry. So we're going to see what the next generation is going to be up to. That I think is and the last announcement, one of the things that's also in the works is the watch-alongs. So you all know we decided to absolutely torture Sam and basically pin down a couple of horror movies that we're going to watch together, filled with blood, guts, and terror, and death, and doom and destruction. And it's going to be a cheery time. Caitlin and I are basically pulling together to pick out the best of we're picking out Predator movies, isn't that right?
Okay,
so one is already locked down.
Yes.
The
Okay, we locked one down?
Yes.
Yes. One is Predator, the other, y'all fight in gladiatorial combat amongst yourselves. Looking over our internal documents, it appears we do have the full date selection.
I feel like it should be Prey, but I know Caitlin is a huge Predator 2 fan and does not want that to go away.
I said if we have to watch the original Predator, then we watch the original Predator and Predator 2. If we don't have to watch the original Predator, then we watch Predator 2 and Prey. So that's my pitch. But
so the clear answer is to make y'all fight.
Yeah.
Predator 2
Potato
versus
sack
Prey.
race at dawn. Winner takes all.
Let's go.
Let's go.
According to Stream Punk's company policy.
That is the company policy.
We will be making the places you can go to watch along with us available, as well as the dates on our Stream Punk's Discord, which is where we will be doing this watch along. So please stay posted if you are in the Stream Punk's Discord. Therefore, thank you.
Well done.
Also,
I
no,
just want to jump in real quick and
you.
say thank you, everybody, so much for the level 2 hype train. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice. That's all I have. Would anybody else like to make any announcements tonight before we jump into this next chapter of Beacon? Yeah. Go ahead.
I recently guested on a sort of backstory all guests episode mini arc for pest control here on Alt Haven. The first episode has gone up. The second episode, I think, is going up soon or has already gone up, but it sounds like there's going to be 3 of them because our second recording went for several hours. So you get a 3 episode mini arc instead of a 2 episode mini arc. It was very, very fun. It was very delightful. We got to help build kind of the backstory, a back in time adventure for the town that they have built for pest control. Monster of the week. I feel like I was very predictable. So I'm playing with people who have never played with me before. So we have fun here. But yeah, you should go listen, go check it out. Everyone was so charming. It was a blast. And I can't wait for you to hear all of the episodes.
Sweet. All right. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to burden us with before we get into the game tonight?
Yes, one, if any technical difficulties happen this stream, it's this cat's
Yeah,
fault.
we're going to blame it on the cat.
2, I believe next week is the last Tuesday of the month, so be on the lookout for our coffee game with the Marvel multiverse. It's becoming one of my favorite things. And that's it.
Nicely played. All right.
I
Yeah,
have
Lisa.
one.
Yeah.
So Ripley Improv, my all women and non-binary group of improviser filmmaker extraordinaires, we're doing a few shows. I say we. I'm not signed up to do the shows just because I'm cocooning right now.
But you're also
But-
you're Ripley Improv. Yeah.
But I'm Ripley, and I
But you're
gotta
Ripley.
shout them out. And I hope if you're in the LA area, either in late April or June, the first show is April 26th, and then we have 2 June shows. So go to ripleyimprov.com. The show information should be up there. And if it's not, sign up for our newsletter, our email newsletter, because you will get the info straight to your inbox anyway. So yeah.
Sweet.
Check out Ripley. I got to
Yeah.
do
Do it
one
now.
show with them once. It was so much fun. I wasn't on screen, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're awesome. You should check them
That
out.
was so Caitlin
We
did
should
live
do that again.
drawing.
We
Yeah,
should
I want to
do
bring
that
that show
again.
back. But
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
really fun.
We could do any version of that. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, unless there's anything else this evening.
Oh,
Yes.
no, there's nothing else. In fact, there's less else than usual. I will not be doing my morning people segment tomorrow because I will be leaving on a jet plane. Although my return ticket assures me I do know when I will be back again. I'm going to be at a research conference in Chicago, which is less fun for stream punks and a lot of meetups. But I get to hang out with Noir, and I am so excited.
I'm stealing a Sam, and you're not getting them back.
You better give us
Oh,
Sam
no.
back. I'm coming to Chicago maybe in August, so I'll bring Sam back. Okay.
Oh shit.
I'm stealing it. You're not getting them back.
Oh,
no.
man.
Oh no.
There's an action movie
What have we
premise
done?
being set up right now. One city,
God,
3 stream punks,
I'm
no
having deja vu.
survivors.
this plot is giving me deja vu.
Oh god.
Weird.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're ready to jump back into tonight's episode of Beacon.
Oh, let's do it.
All right. When we last left off, we were on JINX colony in a bloodbath, or rather the aftermath of one. The attempt to save the 70 plus employees of this facility, well, as it turns out, their fate had been decided before the crew of the Elios could do anything about it. Y'all were only here to pick up a scientist and head home, and it's turned into something much more complicated. We have currently, in the sick bay of the Elios, a mercenary captain or lieutenant that is recovering from having his leg shot off. And you've also managed to stabilize the doctor that you were sent here to get. To say that this has not gone as planned is a dramatic understatement. But at the moment, it can be said that Dr. Lucas Brown has been saved and is being stabilized. We are currently in the aftermath of the events here on JINX Colony. The creature, the pirate captain, is dead. Isaac has taken some significant damages and in need of repair. You have 2 wounded people, an empty pirate ship, a lot of questions. And right now, the only survivor of JINX Colony is Nathan Kelly, the senior project manager for Wayland Yutani. And he is only just now coming out of his shock after gunning down Nakamura in a moment of explosive violence that almost claimed the life of, well, the mercenary and, inadvertently, Dr. Lucas Brown. So, we're going to go ahead and pick up in just a sec. We're going to go ahead and pick up with you guys can pretty much start the scenes where you wish. We're going to say that it's not too long after you rescued the gentleman that was out in the middle of nowhere. If you remember where we last left off, you had found one final survivor. We can say we'll start the scenes with you guys stepping back into the facility with him over your arms. You guys were bringing him back in
We were taking him the long way around. So
to
we
the
didn't have
Elios.
to walk.
Oh, so you were going to go all
Yeah.
the way around the facility? Okay.
So we didn't have to walk him through that bloodbath room for him. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, we can start the scenes then. It sounds like pretty much at this point, everyone has gathered back onto the Elios and is using the Elios as basically a safe haven at the moment. You still have full access to the facility, but right now, nobody living is in it. So he is currently plugged into a medical bed. What you learn about him is, first of all, his name is West. He is a 52-year-old leatherneck who has been working here for about 2 weeks and is in a state of shock.
We had established
Aaron.
Aaron Fisher.
Mhm.
So it is not Aaron Fisher.
It tells you his name is West and that he's been working here for a little over 2 weeks. And he seems like he's in a state of shock. He is, whenever you question him, he just goes, yeah, I was just kind of trying to find my bag. I couldn't find my bag. When you try to speak to him, he kind of just keeps looping that in repeat. No, I was just looking for my duffel bag. I had all my stuff in my duffel bag, and I couldn't find it, so I was going out to look for it.
We didn't notice a duffel bag along the way. Was something important in it?
I had all my stuff. I had all my stuff in my duffel bag. I just it's important that I get it because I didn't want to leave it behind.
Is it replaceable?
I think I could just find it. I don't think I have to worry about. I should be able to. I could find it. It's probably out there somewhere. I'll just.
We're not going to let you go back in there by yourself.
Yeah, sure. No, I'll wait, and then I'll go back. I'll just wait. I'll go back when it's. I'll go back in a little bit. It's fine.
Can I do like a perception observation check?
Well, what are you trying to ascertain? Because
Is
it depends on what skill.
Yeah, is he like withholding something? Is he nervous? I guess I'm trying to get an emotional state that might belie what his deal is right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Because to say he's acting a little strange is pretty accurate.
Yeah, and then the name thing, we're like,
right. He's giving you a name that is not. It is not on the registry. It is not in any way on the registry. It does not match anything that you guys have seen.
Yeah, we saw his PDT chip at the bottom of that canyon lighting up.
That's correct.
And it said Aaron. So yeah, there's something weird going on.
Okay. In which case, if you're trying to get a basic sense of his emotional state, then I would probably say that is an I would allow that to be an empathy manipulation, or I would also allow an empathy medical aid check for this.
Okay. Empathy medical is better for me, although I have been trying to learn manipulation.
You can use empathy command in moments like this too to try to
Oh.
get him to, hey,
Yeah.
you know, using a presence. But if you're trying to sense what his deal is, this is what you would roll for sure.
No,
if you
yeah.
want to try to, if you're trying to ascertain what his deal is, I would
I'll
say,
do this.
okay, yeah,
I'll do this medical. That feels like the most assessment.
go ahead and
kind.
make your check. Yeah.
All right. All right. We get the empathy. We get the medical aid. And 3 stress from last time.
Oh, geez.
Lovely.
Oh, that's right. That would track because last time was,
We're
fun times.
just rolling through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2.
2 successes.
Yes.
He is in a
Maybe
state of utter shock. You get the impression it's not, you're not just getting the impression that he is in a state of like a surreal disconnect with the things around him. You are sensing he has experienced some serious trauma of some kind, and it doesn't look like it's physical. It looks like he has regressed or fallen back into a state, and you're not entirely sure he's conscious right now. Everything about this, because you are very familiar with this kind of shit on the battlefield, you are seeing what would appear to be, it looks like he is having a severe regression of PTSD pulling him back. He looks like he is in a state of just, you're pretty sure he's not conscious right now. He's not aware of you talking to him, even though he's responding.
Okay. I'm going to look around for some kind of ration, like an apple juice kind of. Not bug juice. I'm not just going to push bug juice on him, but.
Well, unfortunately.
Is that what we have?
Fortunately, yeah. That's on the Elios. That's pretty much for protein drinks and nutrition drinks. That's what you guys pretty much have been supplied with.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to. Is he like sitting on a medical bed kind of?
Yeah,
situation?
he's sitting on one of the 3 medical beds right now.
I'm going to sit next to him and kind of like. All right. So, yeah, later I'll go back with you to find your duffel bag. But in the meantime, do you like bug juice?
He stares off for a moment and says, "Oh, it's okay. I'll go back and find it in a second."
Yeah, here, let me get you something to drink.
He nods.
Yeah.
And looks aside. As you move to one of the nearby coolers to open it up and grab some nutrition for him, grab one of these drinks, Kelly, who is also just come down from his state of shock and is recovered, he touches your shoulder and leans in. He goes, that is Aaron Fisher. He's been working at the facility for the past 8 years. He was one of the first employees after the place went live. So I don't know who West is or what this is all about, but I think he's just...
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe I could talk to him. He knows me.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what he says to you.
Sure.
Do you want bug juice?
I don't think I should put anything in my stomach just yet.
This is the fresh lime flavor. It's really refreshing. You sure?
No, I actually have been throwing up, so maybe I should have something.
Yeah, this will settle your stomach.
Thank you.
Just don't think about what it is.
Yeah.
I'll grab a 2nd and 3rd bug juice, crack them open.
He takes a swig out of it. Just, don't think.
That
He
lime
moves.
flavor, though, right?
I'll
Yeah.
let me talk to him and see if I can work something out with him. Maybe sort of bring him back, I guess.
Okay.
He moves over and grabs one of Doc's rolling stools and pulls it up and sets in the lock on the wheels and settles in. He goes, "Hey, Aaron. Hey." Aaron glances up at him and says, "Hey, you know who I am?" And Aaron stares at him for a moment. And the two of them begin what seems to be a hushed conversation. But you get the impression from body language as they're talking, it looks like Kelly is trying to bring him out and offers him a swig of the bug juice. And I'm going to roll for Kelly right now. Just make an empathy command check. Unfortunately, as a Wayland Yutani exec, this is not necessarily the best role for him with regards to showing employee care, but
Corporate empathy.
yeah, and they keep talking. Anybody who gets close to listen to what the conversation is, you're hearing Aaron constantly go back to calling himself West. And no, I just got there. I just need you to find my duffel bag. And Kelly just going, okay. Well, I tell you what, why don't we'll find your duffel bag for you, okay? You don't have to worry about it. Why don't you just sit here and just take a breath and we'll work it out, okay? And the two of them continue working, talking back and forth.
What does he do with the bug juice I hand him?
Well, Manager Kelly did take a long swig out of it and kind of pass it on to Aaron, who's sitting there. Still mostly in his vac suit with his helmet off, but right now he's plugged into vitals, and you guys can see that he's stable. He looks like he's recovering. He looks like he was dehydrated. He was also, when you all found him, he was suffering from oxygen deprivation and was kind of going in and out of delirious state, but he, for all physical intents and purposes, doesn't appear to have any wounds on him. Just a little dehydrated and is recovering, but it looks like he looks like he's still coming back down from whatever you get the impression based off of his behaviors. He probably saw some things, and that may have been what led to all of this.
I'm going to go over to where our doc and our two doctors in the room.
I know Doc is. I was going to ask Tig if she's in there.
Probably. She probably would have dropped everybody off and then gone to be second set of hands for Doc.
Okay. And where's Isaac?
Last we saw, Isaac was in the medical bay with Doc, being a bad patient.
Oh, right.
Or rather,
okay.
being a necessary assistant and thereafter being a patient. I learned from my crew. Be a bad patient. It's what the medical professionals would do. So I'm here. All of that was to say I'm here.
Okay. So Isaac, you're in there as well. Every now and then, dipping back in just to check in on how everything is going, you see Connor pop back in and being like, all's quiet upstairs. There's nothing new to report. Is everyone doing all right down here? Do you need anything? No? All right. That's fine. No. Take your time. I also was going to say, when everyone's feeling up for it, I think if things have calmed down a little bit, I think maybe we consider checking out that other ship again. Now that we've got a little more time.
Yeah.
Didn't really get a chance to comb it. From the sounds of what happened in that facility, it sounds like there's a lot of unanswered questions still.
Yeah, more focused on the life first, but now that we've got everybody breathing accounted for, I think that'll be our next play.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go to see if I can contact Beacon, send out a message. It's gonna take a couple of days to hear back from them, so I might as well send something now. He pushes back up, heads up one of the walkways to the next deck. You were all left with a gentle hum.
All right.
Isaac says that?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he told me so. He told me about his phobia.
Wait, who what now?
Why is it always the pilots? I don't understand why it's always the pilots.
Wait, Connor has a phobia of what?
Me.
Isaac, apparently.
Of you?
Since in general, I think. I creep him out.
Oh.
Or we creep him out and he's trying not to be creeped out. And I didn't really... There were a lot of feelings happening very fast.
Yeah, that sounds like a him problem and not a you problem. We'll chat when we're no longer in hypothetical peril.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between hypothetical peril and real peril?
There's not a gun to my head currently, so it's not active. Hypothetical. I don't know what's in that ship. Could be more danger, I guess. Is how I would qualify it. I'm just saying words. We don't have answers to everything yet, and so we could hypothetically still be in peril and not know it. I guess.
Yeah.
Very true.
I thought
Peril
we were
might
in
be
Jinx
just
Colony.
contained.
Sam, what did you say? It cut out.
I thought we were in Jinx Colony. We could rename it.
You know what? After today, maybe we should.
Mm-hmm.
How are my two fleshy patients doing?
So Lucas is stabilized. You managed to save him. He is currently receiving plasma and is showing signs of improvement. Your mercenary friend is still quite unconscious, but you've managed to completely cleanly bandage up and remove what was left of the leg. He's lucky because where the leg was removed is going to be actually quite easy to install himself a assist device, get himself a prosthetic. He'll be fine. It could have been so much worse. Could have been so much worse. Both of those patients were on the verge of death when you stabilized them.
All right. In that case, I'm going to my synthetically fleshy patient.
Isaac is another story. Isaac is calmly sitting there, looking as pleasant as Isaac always does. And their head looks like it looks like their head might have been made out of cardboard and somebody forgot and put something way too heavy down on top of it. And it folded. Isaac has essentially a busted seam going straight through the middle of their skull down to the front of their face. They've been leaking droid fluids this whole time. You've been seeing the synthetic fluid. The fact that Isaac's pleasant demeanor and smile greets you in the state that Isaac's in could be, for others who would not be able to see past such a thing, would be horrifying to behold. But Isaac seems to be fully functional. It seems to be the structure that has been damaged. And it's quite extensive. You're probably going to need, honestly, this is a job for Martha. Martha's going to have to do some extensive repair work here.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely sidling up next to the doc, going over to Isaac to check in on the patient. How's our patient doing?
Well, I just wrapped up with these other two and just started taking a look at this and all of this. I've been reading some books on synthetic healthcare, and I have some ideas of where to start, but I could use a more deft hand at this particular operation.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like I can definitely supply lots of the software healthcare info, and you probably are going to be better at the hardware, and we can meet in the middle. Get you patched up, Isaac.
I
think you're rocking that look,
legs on the exam, sitting on the exam table. Thank you.
I'm amazed that you're just like so unfazed.
It's only hypothetical peril.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know that any of my tools here are what's necessary. Do you have like a starter kit?
Yeah. I pull out my SSID. SSID? That's not right, is it? It is right. Brain.
You got it.
Yeah. I usually say tricorder. I swear to God.
We're not there yet, Elisa. We're not there yet.
The right thing.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. I pull out my little handheld thingy. If I may, to Isaac, may I plug in? Okay. And I plug in to their port and run some diagnostics, see where we're at since I last checked. Probably lost a lot of fluid, I'm sure. And whatever assessments I need to do.
So since this is just like an assessment, not a repair, you don't have to make a roll here. It's easy enough to get a general idea, especially with your skill level in Comtech. It's easy to get a general idea of Isaac's state. Currently, Isaac definitely is exhibiting signs of extreme structural degradation around their skull, and it
I'm messed
looks it's exactly the feedback that you're getting from the disconnect. But I will say that it's impossible to tell if Isaac's systems are going to be affected until after the repair is complete. Right now, Isaac seems to be fully operational, but synthetics are such a complex system, much like organic beings. It's really one of those things where once they heal, then you have to find out what else needs healing. So Isaac right now, though, is presenting a very cheery demeanor.
Okay. Well, I think we can get to work in reshaping the head. Definitely before we put it back together, I want to check and make sure the insides are all hooked up the way they should be, replenish fluids, etc., etc.
Ooh. That one's called a craniotomy, right, Doc? When you open up the skull to see what's going on inside.
Just about, yes. You got to get yourself a. I mean, that's not usually something people look forward to. You know what? Experience this however you like.
I don't know how I'll experience it yet. This is my first time having my brain skull opened.
Isaac, do you want us to just let you be awake for this? Or we can put you into a, standby so you don't have to be awake when we pull your skull apart.
I can be awake?
I mean, yeah, let's say, yeah. I don't think it'll harm anything to have you stay awake during this. It actually help us know that we're not shorting you out or something. If
like organics.
If we keep talking to you. Yeah, we'll just keep talking to you, making sure your brain is working the way it should be as we work on it. And we'll have real-time data if it's not.
Happy to provide data.
All right. I'm going to go grab some like heavy pliers and equipment and stuff that we're going to need to like work on this head. I also imagine we're going to have to like reshape it and stuff like.
It's going to take some delicate work.
Yeah. So whatever.
But as a repair job, by the rules, as a repair job, this is actually not. I think it takes a shift, so I think it'll be like a 3 to 4 hour job, and Isaac should be back to normal. Also, synthetic skin is also famously resilient and easy to repair. It's regenerative in a way that most organic flesh doesn't have the ability to do. Synthetics can actually, if you reattach their head, the skin will actually grow back beyond the seams. And reattaching and repairing Isaac would be, you're guessing it'll be about 2 or 3 days, and Isaac won't be showing any signs that there was ever damage at all.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
With that, this is going to be a repair check. Sam, we had already jumped ahead to ascertain exactly what kind of Lisa's going to be rolling a contact check here, and that's going to basically function like the medical skill would for an organic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I recall as well.
Can I get an assist from Doc? Since we're working together.
Doc has a contact skill.
I do.
It does have a context skill.
Specifically for this, I might add.
Hey.
Isaac.
With your steady hand, Doc, I might say yes. I would say you can gain an extra die.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give you that
If
extra
you'd like
die.
an ox point for my brain skull, that would be fun.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
That'd be good too. I'd love that.
We have 8 ox points to spend.
Get it.
2.
Okay.
Oh wait, I don't have to. Wait, ox point is an auto success? Not an added die, right? Okay.
Ox point is an auto success.
Okay.
It's 1/6. And you can actually choose to take an ox point after you've rolled.
All right. Before we know the results.
That's probably best.
All right, definitely taking that ox point, and I have 1 extra die from Doc, and I'll do this roll.
Right.
Ew. Well, I have 2 success.
Okay.
And a panic.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you did score a 1 on the panic die, right?
Yeah.
So then do me a
face hugger on.
Okay, so then do me a favor. How many points of stress do you have?
3.
Okay, So you're going to roll that d6, and you're going to subtract 2 because you got nerves of steel. So unless you roll a 6, you should be fine.
I'm good. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
It's subtle, and it's in the back of your neck. You can feel the stress of today and everything that's happened, the things you've seen. You're going to need a beer after this. You hold it together, though. And
it's never fun to like be digging in your friend's brain.
Never.
I mean, you make it fun, Isaac. I
Thank
want to do a good job here.
all right. So using Comtech, we use rules as written.
Oh, 3. Sorry, the total was 3 successes because of the ox point, by the way.
Oh, total of 3 successes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
111 for it.
Thank you. All right.
I don't even think we need to run up the score. I think it's just successful contact.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Synthetic is broken because of a critical injury, which you were. So
Which I was
you didn't
not.
have to worry about. Yeah, you were not suffering system shutdown.
Nope.
Android makes it very hard to stop. Blah blah blah.
I wasn't
Android's-
even broken.
No, you didn't. That's right. You just got critted. You didn't
That's
actually
a crit.
break.
I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't break. Yeah, instead of a shift of work and a Comtech roll, instead a shift of work and a Comtech roll is required for the repair all lost health points and all critical injuries, as long as the android has not suffered a system shutdown. And Isaac, you can actually repair yourself if you learn how to do it.
Yeah, if my Comtech weren't absolute dog, I could.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll basically take a shift, so about 3 to 4 hours of working on Isaac. But yeah, Isaac, you'll be restored to fully functional status as soon as this is
And
all
no
wrapped up.
gnarly scar, because apparently I repair myself efficiently.
No, that's a player
That's what I
decision.
get
If you
for
want to
not
say
having
that,
private box.
I mean, if you want to say that the Isaac model doesn't necessarily live up to that standard, you can absolutely make that call.
I
'cause
think
you
we
created
have
the Isaac
had
model.
to deliberately induce scars previously, so I think we can assume that Isaac's.
That just means that in the past you have managed to heal scars efficiently. It does
True.
not necessarily mean you continue. So you
But
can absolutely use that
that's-
storyboat if you choose. It doesn't break continuity. So
I don't need it for the cosmetic. I'm perfectly happy. You know,
I also
if I'm
think
manufactured to not have scars and we put it in post, that
Okay.
means something
Yeah.
very different and lovely for Isaac.
Well,
okay.
that's what I was imagining. Isaac just draws in scars.
That is what we did for the one that I have.
I just want to know, does Isaac still sound like a speak and spell?
Well, hopefully we're fixing that.
I'm just imagining tweaking the vocals.
Oh yeah.
Hey, real quick, pause for game just for a second. Noir, I have an idea that might fix the camera issue, but it's going to require for me
Yes.
to pop out and then pop back in.
Okay, I was gonna have everything taken care of during break, but if we want to do a hard fix, let's go for it.
Should we all do that, or
I just need like maybe 10 seconds just to pop out and jump back in. I'm just going to change a setting and reboot the camera and see if I
Eric,
can
you
lower
do it. Like Lisa, you do it as well.
okay.
Everybody else has been running smooth, and everybody, thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah, we're doing this remotely.
I can't believe Watson would do this to us. What a vicious cat!
Well, I can't deny the hatred of that cat. All right,
I know.
Be right back.
He's just off in the corner, like.
All right, so while they're gone, we all agree they're the best, right?
Yes, yes. It's unbelievable, actually. I can't believe the audacity.
Audacity.
Oh, what a good ship. Remember when we mutinied? What good times.
Okay.
Well, I guess we didn't get the opportunity to mutiny because, you know, someone went ahead and tried to lay a kiss on a Borg queen, but
I mean, you've seen the Borg queen.
I mean,
no one can blame Hector for trying. It was the I mean, the problem is that the Borg queen is like beyond epic level villain, and I do applaud Hector for trying to grenade her, though. That was pretty.
a little small of the back, Nate.
I didn't see.
Resistance.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming. So, but
Well, neither did she. It was on her back.
she's annoying in how she knows everything, though.
Hey,
She's
all right,
annoying,
we're
that one.
getting a much better from our YouTube crew.
Cool.
Yay!
All right.
All right. So yeah, I know it's still a little choppy, but that's the nature of the remote. But yeah, I think I was able to lower some of the settings, so that should help it. But 4 hours working on Isaac, being very careful to stitch together that incredibly durable synthetic skeleton that basically, even over the top of the skull, essentially looks like an extra refined hard alloyed weave that kind of weaves in and out. Does not look like a human skull. It almost looks like this intricate, beautiful, checkered like cage that is filled with these small little gaps in between and running with circuitry and all kinds of very sensitive equipment. You do, of course, see the insides of Isaac's brain. Isaac's brain does not look like a human brain. It looks like multiple clusters of highly functioning, incredibly dynamic, very complicated CPUs that are constantly operating and firing off backups, all that. You can see you're getting a snapshot essentially from the inside of Isaac's head. Isaac is going to be a very difficult synthetic to put down. Judging from what you know about synthetics, the Isaac model looks like it was built to completely endure the harshest of environments, the most brutal things that nature could throw at. The Isaac model seems to have been designed for that. And it's giving you a little bit of a snapshot of why Varela wanted Isaac. But it takes, it is hard work, wiping your brow from time to time, losing track of time. But after 4 hours, you finish the last bit using this small soldering iron-like device that is causing this wispy smoke to draw up as you basically essentially reassemble Isaac's skull, putting it back into the section it needs. Right down the center line of Isaac's hairline is this perfect line of bald spot where the place has been utterly repaired. The hair follicles should grow back in. Another miracle of synthetic engineering is the bioorganic manipulation of the dermal layer that allows this to grow back in. In fact, Isaac could pretty much decide where and how any hair on their body could manifest if they so chose. And you're getting this idea as you kind of pull this back. Isaac looks quite normal now, just with that strange line. And you can also see the skin is starting to heal up a little bit already. The other two patients, over the next 4 hours, I'm going to just roll randomly. I'm going to let fate decide this.
I just wanted noted that Doc is very jealous of Isaac's ability to grow hair.
I could have a beard at any time.
Yep. That would just take, yeah. I mean, that would take either Elise's help or your Comtech help. But yes,
Program.
Yeah, program.
basically, there's ways to alter that.
So you don't
But
have to get beard.
so, at about towards the end of Isaac's repair, the mercenary starts coming back around, and you can hear him stirring over in his bed, making a few noises, and glancing over in his direction to anybody who is curious if he is actually awake. You do see him raise his hand and put it to his head and drop it back down again. His eyes blink as he's staring straight up at the ceiling.
Doc is gonna
Take is free, I would say, too, if you wanted to keep working on Isaac, but you can go to him.
I think it's more one of those he just doesn't want this guy to wake up by himself. So it's probably just hey, how are you? And then go back to Isaac. But Dick is certainly a company.
Yeah, she's not helpful at all with the Isaac repairs, so she just is taking your lead.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back to the land of living.
He nods to you and says, "You were the one who put me back together."
I had to take some bits off to do so. Hope you don't mind, but I'm glad to hear that you're doing better.
Yeah, I was overdue. I've been doing this for too long to not have lost something by now.
Well, if it weren't, if it weren't against all sanitary protocols, I'd let you keep your trophy. But yeah.
What happened? I don't remember.
It'll come to you when your body's ready for it. But you got this one to thank here. They're the ones used to getting their hands all nice and messy. Tig, our friend here.
Tig, real quick, are you wearing your dog tags?
Always.
Okay, he makes note of that as he nods to you. You see his eyes drop to your dog tags, and then he nods slowly.
Good morning.
Thank you for saving me. Although it might have been better if you had just left me to die. Turning me into the authorities, I will no doubt be sentenced to death for what I have done.
Well, you're kind of a downer in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that right now. So don't, rest or whatever, I guess.
Nakamura, is he dead?
He is.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Wait. You see his eyes light up. What about Z? Is she still in the facility?
Yeah. Yeah, she's not going anywhere though.
You killed her?
I actually don't 100% know what happened, but essentially, yeah.
You're sure she's dead?
I look to Martha and Isaac. Isaac, who's got their skull probably cracked open at this point, not fully finished.
You're muted.
Some beings can operate without a head.
Yeah,
Probably
Martha.
not her.
Martha turns. Yeah, if Isaac says that and says, "I wasn't sure either, but I think we got her. I think she's not coming back."
You see relief on his face as he lays his head back down. It's over.
Sorry about someone I assume was summoned to you at some point.
She was a good captain when she was still our captain.
Yeah, she probably wasn't that for a long time, was she?
No.
Yeah.
We could sense the change. I was her most loyal officer, and many conversations I had with her in private seemed to hint that something was very wrong, especially when she stopped taking her helmet off.
I don't know if it helps or maybe would make it worse to hear, but she'd probably been gone for a long time before this.
I suspected.
Yeah.
The men were trying to convince me that was the case, but I wouldn't listen to them. I thought she had just lost her lover. I assumed she had been affected by this. But I could convince our crew. But Red Eagle, our other ship, they wanted to leave. I knew he wasn't coming back when he got in to respond. I knew he wasn't coming back. I wish I had gone with him, but I thought that I could stay behind and reach her somehow. He sinks back into the bed and stares up at the ceiling.
You cared. That means something, even if she wasn't there anymore.
I need you all to know. We are not good people, but we were not here to kill anyone.
I believe you.
She started doing things to people. It was the crew, they couldn't stand it. They stood up to her. They challenged her. I stood by her side. Arguments broke out. She began to laugh. She thought things were funny. She lifted someone from the ground, one of the hostages. She did things no human should be able to do. The crew, they panicked. The shouting grew louder. Someone pulled a gun. They shot her. I pulled my gun and fired back. A firefight broke out, and amongst it, she should have died. She went into a frenzy. And when I saw there was no stopping her, when I saw nothing, no one could stop her, I ran.
Yeah, I think we saw the aftermath of that. You wouldn't have made it otherwise. Not that you made it out in one piece, but that wasn't. That was extenuating circumstances there.
Finally glances down at himself and notices the stump, sees the fine bandage like very tightly, expertly woven around where his knee used to connect. Glances down at it and says, touches his thigh and kind of massages his leg for a moment and says, Ghost limb is true. I thank you. I thank you all. This is a small price to pay.
Still sorry we couldn't do more for you and everyone else who didn't make it out of there.
Your sentiments are appreciated. What is to become of me now?
Not gonna lie to you, dude. I don't even want to think about that right now. That's too far in the future, and we have several other questions to answer. You want to tell us what's in that ship, by the way?
We found something. Nakamura, he was working as an agent for Weyland Yutani, though I don't know if he was acting on their behalf or not. He did have sizable income. He was our employer. At this point, Kelly rises from the other side of the room and walks over and goes, "What do you mean he was your employer?" The mercenary glances back at Manager Kelly and says, "He was the one running JINX colony." No, he was... Holy fuck. He stops for a second, starts thinking, goes, "What did he have you do?" We were his errand boys. There are spots, places out here on the frontier, forgotten since the frontier war only a few years ago. Many of them have places of interest for powerful people, things that have been left behind, perhaps things that were buried. Nakamura never seemed to know exactly where, so he was casting a wide net and following leads, and we were the ones reaching out here on the frontier to find what it was he was looking for. He had us checking possible sites. We didn't know exactly what it is he wanted us to find, but all we did know is that because some of us have ties to the UPP, that we might be of use to him. And then we hit, how do you say, jackpot. We found a facility on Delphini 46. It was supposed to be an unsurveyed system near this gas giant. It was Delphini 46 2D, I believe. We detected the transponder from orbit, UPP signature. Z had me confirm it. Both ships sat down. Chess, her first officer, her lover, he was telling us we were all going to be rich. We'd finally found something that resembled what Nakamura was looking for. We stepped out. The place looked abandoned. Had all of the warning signs that people who are greedy would ignore. Moving into the facility, we found the place had been mostly scorched, burned. Looked like someone tried to hastily clear their tracks, cover their tracks. But they didn't clear everything. There was a container and sublevels that had not been accessed. Once we found the container, we just needed to verify what it was. And Chess, he was so convinced we would all retire now, no longer have to live on the misery of others. We were going to get out of this business once and for all and leave the hell of the frontier behind us. There was a container that was broken and one not so broken. And the one that was broken seemed to open and close fine. It's like a small canister, twist, pull. And inside was this broken vial with this there was something inside, the liquid. We decided to get it back onto the ship and bring it back here to JINX colony for Nakamura to confirm that it is what he was wanting and get our payday. Chess was the first one to get sick. He started coughing at first, and then we noticed his skin looked different. He insisted he was okay. Z was worried about him. She would become irritable if we tried to talk sense, said, we think we brought something back with us. She wouldn't listen. He became pale, he became violent. Veins. I remember the veins on his neck, they black. His face just seemed like it wanted to rot off. He just killed him. He became violent. He attacked her. We rushed to her quarters thinking that it was a lover's quarrel of some kind, but they fought all the time, never physical, nothing like that. No, this was different. The noises. We managed to force our way in. She stood there and he was dead. Black blood leaking from his body. We quarantined the corpse, put it in the medical bay, instructed everybody not to go inside. They could be infected, possibly. And That is when she started acting different. We thought she was upset, you know. She had the right to be. She had just murdered the man she loved. Self-defense. We decided we would follow through on the job. She was a professional, but her behavior started to change rapidly. 3 days, and she was someone completely different. We started noticing little things. She was taller than we remembered her. She wouldn't take off her helmet. Her voice changed. She was different. If you've killed her, then you know. And the crew is terrified of her. She became convinced that whatever it was that killed Shes, she now had. So, her intention was to find Nakamura. I don't think getting paid was on her mind anymore. I think her mind was starting to slip away into some other state. We thought she just wanted a cure, that Nakamura somehow knew what this was and what would happen. And you know the rest.
How long ago was this?
I don't know what day this is, but not long.
Can I share the date with him? Does that help him?
Yeah. He processes that for a minute, like nods and says, "Oh, a week, maybe. We haven't been here that long, but this did not transpire over a particularly long period of time." Do me a favor. If each of you could, including you, Doc, I'd like you to make a wit survival roll.
Oh no.
You mean a wits stress roll?
Actually, hold on, pause. Who went on that ship? It was Isaac, Doc, and okay, so you three make a wit survival roll. Yeah, Martha wasn't there.
All right.
Think this might be a fine time to ask for ox point.
Would you like an ox point?
Yes, please.
That first ox point was from Leo Ambermain. This next ox point comes to you from Aetherspoon.
Okay, let's.
And thank you, Jason, for throwing a sub bomb at our chat.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Don't worry, it's probably okay.
Here we go.
Miscreant.
I irritate Jason.
Throw a grenade somewhere.
I irritate him. I irritate Jason all the time.
I appreciate it. I can only do so much.
Which Jason?
It's probably okay. I never tell him when I'm calling down an airstrike, and it bothers him. And I think he should be. That is the correct reaction.
If he can't handle your democracy, then that's all. I got 2 successes and a face hugger.
If you
and
can't
a face
handle
hugger?
your problem, you deserve to manage democracy.
Okay, real quick. What did you get, Caitlin? What did Tig?
I got a success on a regular die, and I got a 1 on a panic die. However,
perfect.
I auto succeed
Okay.
because of my
Isaac?
what's it called?
What did you get, Isaac?
Lol. Lamau.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so then right now, Doc, you need to make a panic check.
I just did. Nervous twitch, your stress level, and the stress level of all friendly pieces in short range of you increased by 1. Oops.
Love it.
Okay, so all organics in here just got an extra point of stress.
Amazing.
Hey, Eric, what does it mean when the boxes turn orange when you increase your stress?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Okay, just checking.
How many do you have? 5?
7.
Aye, okay.
Doc, as you're listening to this merc who is calling himself by what is the name he gave you again? I believe it was Zeeks? Yeah, Zeeks.
Yeah.
Doc, as you're listening to this story and just cleaning up your hands and putting away some of the stuff and just listening as you're cleaning up the medical area, folding towel, putting it away, you pause. There is a sensation of ice creeping up the back of your spine to the back of your neck as fear begins to flood your senses, as this survival instinct begins to cue up at about the same time you remember. Tig, you also find yourself involuntarily catching your breath in your throat for a second and immediately involuntarily shooting a glance over at Doc. That's compounded by the fact that, Isaac, you're not sure what the reaction is, but it's visible. You all can see Doc suddenly also involuntarily grab the corners of the counter that he is standing in front of and just take it. You see his eyes widen as that twitch manifests as he goes, Noir.
Yes.
Do you remember when you unzipped that body bag?
I do.
Do you remember when I had you roll endurance?
Uh-huh. Yes.
The story settles in. The contamination of that black goo pathogen that corrupted that corpse, the medical bay that had been quarantined. Your mind begins to race. You came in contact with it. Did you directly touch it? You don't know. How does it operate? You don't know. You have a baseline understanding. But in that moment, Doc, your mind starts to race to some possibilities. And you are immediately linking together everything you know as your mind goes into fight or flight. Based on everything he is saying, your rational mind is telling you, if you had been infected, you would know by now. The onset seems to be pretty rapid, but you can't be sure. You can't be sure.
I think what the trembling is you see Doc fumbling around for a needle to draw blood to take a look at it. He's just like it's straight panic as he's just reaching for
Tig.
Yeah, no, he's just like fumbling for a syringe. Just
Tig, who had been looking at you because we made eye contact at that like realization moment, sees this and is already knows what's happening. Just kind of very quietly steps up into your space. And is gonna one hand on your shoulder, one hand on the syringe that's in your hand, over your hand, and is just gonna say, "We don't know anything yet, but we're gonna sit down, and I'm gonna help you out. Your hands are shaking. I'll be able to do it better, I think, right now. The student becomes the master, whatever, all that whole, whatever. You call me doctor. You call me doctor sometimes. It'll be great. And I would like to banter to get him to sit down and do the blood draw for him.
That is going to immediately reduce your exorbitantly high stress pool by 2, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, yay, we're back at 5, baby!
And also, if Martha is within hearing range, and anyone within hearing range
Okay.
technically can drop 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Then,
I also
yeah.
would like to do a. Do I have I think I have banter or similar.
You
so
had
I'll
the
do-
other one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Counselor.
Thank you. I was like, it's a C.
No,
So-
I remembered your character.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, you've played Martha a couple times now.
Yeah, but like we don't know anything. That's fine to not know anything, but we're not gonna freak out till we know things. Okay.
Gloves
All right.
and a mask, please.
All right. Okay. She's gonna flick you on the forehead and is gonna go put gloves and a mask on,
Okay.
and she'll do a blood draw for you.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
It's gonna be fine. Take a breath. This is me using my command to counsel you. Like, calm down.
I just
I'm not always good at it, you know.
no, you're doing fine. I swear to do no harm, and I swear to God, if I gotta contagion that makes me do harm. That's just a waste of my student loans.
Well, we have the foresight now. We know, and if it does, then we make sure we cause no harm.
We
So-
cause no harm. All
We
right.
cause no harm. Yeah,
Martha's also going to take some masks, hand them out to everyone else in the room. And Martha, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but y'all talking about this goo. End of sentence. Just kidding. Martha, yeah, she still has the goo in her pocket in the little container. So she's kind of like, oh, this is stressful. But she's
we've got to have a biohazard containment unit we're in a med bay.
No, I just don't know where on the ship. I'm just not sure where to put it where I feel comfortable. Like it needs to be under lock and key somewhere where no one knows where it is. I just Martha feels safer with it on her weirdly right now until she figures out where to put it. Yeah, that exactly. About the command skill, do I have to roll that and then that decides how much stress it takes off?
You're talking about the counselor?
Yes, counselor. Yeah, it says I use the command skill to reduce the stress level. Does that mean I roll command and then?
That's a great question.
Something.
Because it seems to suggest you do, but if it doesn't give any guidance on what successes bring to you,
exactly.
It might just be that you need one success to get. Once per turn, you can use the command skill. Yeah, so you will need to roll to reduce the stress of another character within short range.
Let's see.
For each roll, this is actually quite powerful to reduce stress.
Yeah.
For each success you roll, their stress level is reduced by one extra step.
Yeah. So there's one default step. It sounds like
it's just like rolling damage. So it's every die after the first, every net success you get is going to reduce it further. So no matter what happens, he's going to lose 1 point of stress if you succeed.
Okay, I will roll that. And this is for Doc. I can only do it for one character, so it's for Doc.
Right.
Okay, empathy and
command.
Okay. Rolly. Can I use a point on this?
It's your call.
Yeah.
I would like to. Yeah, if it's allowed, I would like to.
Okay, thank you, Rogan 27, for
Thank
that.
you.
Hey, Rocket 27.
Yeah, so one more stress down for you, Doc.
Okay.
One more shot. Oh, thank you.
So down to 4 now. So the panic is under control as your friends come to your defense in every way they can to try to calm you down. Drawing blood and all that doesn't require a roll, obviously, but if you're going to study a blood sample using ship's equipment, that is going to be a medicine check. So you are going to have to make a quick check here that is empathy plus medical aid.
All right.
Keeping in mind that this is, of course, a pretty advanced medical bay. By today's standards, you should get back some immediate results as well as instant feedback of the blood sample itself in an overhead screen here in
Can I give an assist?
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally.
Extra die from me.
How many?
1 extra die.
Just 1 from me.
Okay. Okay. Y'all, that's so many die.
Yeah, we're doctoring in here.
Okay, that is. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong roll. There we go. That is 6 successes.
6 successes. Doc, you wait on the edges of your seat as data begins to flood back in from the computer. And you see all of the bio data popping up on screen. And that flickering black screen, the green fonts, as Mother begins to immediately read off the results of your entire medical test, indicating your blood counts, your red blood cell count, your white blood cell count. As all of this is popping up, you wait with bated breath until you finally see the words pop up, no anomalies detected.
Oh, I've never been so happy. Just yes.
If you ever go back and watch the VOD of that moment,
Did
I
I
remember
almost?
something to the effect of "Don't screw this up."
Yeah, I just, as your storyteller, I just want you to know that one of the reasons why I've been warning you guys about this particular season of Beacon and taking the safeties off, that session of all the times you guys have ever encountered danger, that is the closest any of you have come to dying.
Yeah.
And that sets in on you, Doc, as you begin to exhale, realizing you came in contact with this lethal pathogen, but it wasn't direct contact, and you had looks like a moment of luck, and nothing is registering on this blood test.
I've never been so happy to see my high blood pressure. Then that's it. All right.
Oh, look at that. She slaps you on the back.
Oh,
Perfect health.
okay.
So want to run another one of those on everybody in the room? How we feel about that?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. We're gonna
Okay.
do round robin.
All right. So because you got 6 damn successes,
Let's go.
I'm going to just say that you gain a success on every single organic blood test in the room.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to be infected with the pathogen, including the merc.
Oh.
Nobody
He
else
was the main
seems
one
to
I was
have.
worried about, but that's good.
Yeah, that's legit. Nobody else seems to have an infection. There doesn't seem to be any trace of it. But you all know that it is in the room with you right now. Oh, the merc doesn't know, and neither does Manager Kelly or the unconscious Dr. Lucas, but that's neither here nor there.
Why would anybody fool around with stuff like this? I don't understand.
It is something that everyone is after.
Why?
I do not know, but the money that is being offered up for anyone who can find any trace of it is enough to retire on for the rest of your life. Wayland Yutani is after it. Siegson is after it. Elements of the UPP is after it. There was a time, rumors were that the Colonial Marines were after it.
So it's either money or power, probably a little bit of both. Whatever they get out of it.
Tig and Martha, I would like you both now to make an empathy command check.
Okay.
Is it worth spending a point? That's the question.
Yes, I will not help you on, sadly, but
I would like to.
Yeah.
If that's
Yeah,
cool.
Go for it.
Okay, I'd like to spend a point to get 1 success.
okay. You're going to spend to get 1 success. This one comes from Shock 22.
Hey.
That Ox point is on behalf of Shock 22.
2 successes.
Okay.
1 panic die, but I auto succeed because of my panic level right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, we can take it that you're going to succeed then. The two of you, in particular, would recall this event. At some point, neither one of you, thankfully, were privy to it. So neither one of you had to endure this event. But especially in the aftermath of the Frontier War and the news that basically rocked the foundation of the Colonial Marines, when the Marshal, the head of the Colonial Marines, was revealed to have basically, in league with the executives of Wayland Yutani, had been among the instigators of the Frontier War and provoking the UPP into a fight. Among many of those stories were stories of bioweapons being tested on the frontier. There is a rumor that spread quickly among the Colonial Marines about bioweapons being unleashed on entire colonies. There's a story about that some news reports have picked up, but were never verified. The two of you, though, have heard stories, though, about the warfare that was used on the frontier and an entire colony being completely wiped out by unmarked ships that jumped into system and rained black rain down upon the colony. And it was out here on the frontiers that happened. The two of you would know, just from your connection to the colonial marines, the frontier war was only like half a decade ago. It wasn't that long ago. The frontier is still recovering. These rumors and his implication and your knowledge of what you've encountered out here with these rogue elements still moving about and these black operations that are currently or perhaps now defunct out here on the frontier, you have a feeling that all of this is somehow tied together. And his description of this goo and y'all's encountering, it's enough pieces have fallen into the place that I'm calling for the roll to see if Tig and Martha can start, if they're starting to experience a level of suspicion about these rumors and what you have all seen with your own eyes now.
Yeah. Martha just kind of instinctually pats the pocket where she has the sample, and she's gonna actually like kind of sidle up to you, Tig, and like in a low tone will say, I don't trust any of them with it. I don't know what to do with it, but I'm not giving it to them or anyone.
Honestly, I don't think I'd let you. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, dutiful soldier, sure, but I don't want that on my conscience. What they do with it.
This is something else. This is outside of duty. This is pure malice.
Yeah,
it's evil.
Yep. Fuck them.
No. Fuck them. We'll work on it. We'll figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Like I told Siegs, the thought of thinking about literally anything else right now is too much, so we'll work on it. Got your back.
I got your back. Martha's probably gonna go like decompress somewhere. Because being in this room and everyone talking about the goo and her having it on her is just like very stressful. So, yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Martha leaves the infirmary, heads into the corridor.
Maybe I'll go to the bridge, go see what's up with Connor.
You step onto the bridge, and of course, Connor.
Is it Connor?
Connor Voight, yeah. You step on it, you're thinking of O'Donnell.
Yeah.
When you step onto the bridge, of course, the bridge is a multi-platformed open space with thick, heavy retro consoles on both the ceiling and the floor. It's quite cluttered for a large space, but you can see down below on the slope that leads down to the flight area where the pilot and co-pilot sit. You see Connor is up there currently, listening to some music with his foot up and a cup of coffee that is currently steaming on the deck of the console. He looks like he's got something in front of him that he's just checking off. And he hasn't noticed you walk in as he's just moving through this thing and just checking.
What's it look like outside?
Outside, it still resembles that haunting, hellish atmosphere. If you didn't have the context of what had been brought to this colony and what had happened here at this JINX facility, it would be beautiful. But outside, this red sun basically barely dips below the horizon, and it casts that Northern Lights radiation spectacular light show across the sky. The storm in the distance and that hellish red flame that's moving across the upper atmosphere makes the outdoors just look like you guys are on the first level of hell. And it's quite surreal to see it in the backdrop of this elderly pilot who's just sitting there nonchalantly just checking something and writing something down on a notepad.
What a night, huh?
Looks up at you and says, "Oh, is this what night is? Fuck me."
I think so.
What a night.
We haven't eaten. We should probably have a meal soon.
I've eaten.
Oh.
You should definitely eat something. You guys have been gone just about all day. And
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure I want to know exactly what happened over there, but I'm glad to see that everyone is mostly in one piece.
Yeah. I wish more could have gotten out alive, but glad for the ones we were able to get out.
Nods slowly and says, so that's the confirmation then.
Oh yeah, it was rough. It sucked. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad stuff, and that was just, it was bad.
I've seen some pretty fucked up things since I started flying when I was, I guess I was about 17 when I got locked into a contract with Wayland Yutani and lost my freedom. That was about 93 years ago now, I think.
I thought more like 10.
10. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyway, my point is I've seen a lot. And so far, this has definitely been the most active ship I flew on. I mean, I did proper trucking, moving things back and forth and sleeping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it. The Beacon, the pay was a bit higher, so I knew I was probably going to get into something a little fuzzy, but they needed experienced pilots. So anyway, I hope it's not always like this. I'm glad we were able to help someone, but yeah, you just feel free to leave me on the ship anytime you want.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't want to. I'm not equipped to do whatever it is you're doing in there. I'm not a Marine. I don't have that. I'm pretty good on the controls, but beside that, I'm not much help, I'm afraid. Not in my 20s anymore.
No, you're absolutely necessary, though. You don't really need to do much more than what you do.
Thank you. Are we leaving soon?
Probably not. We have another situation to just kind of check out. Another ship.
The one right in front of us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about it.
You see he finally puts down the notepad, and you're pretty sure he was doing Sudoku or some such, as he just sets it down and
he says, listen, I still haven't seen any sign of that other ship. I don't know that they're coming back at this point, but I sent out a message to Beacon. Round trip, that message is going to take some time to get back to us, but at least they'll know where we are and what the situation was if something goes wrong. As for the other ship, though, are we thinking about maybe stripping it down? I mean, if there's no one else around, the salvage rights do come to us if we want to take what we want off of it. Don't have to, but just if they've got supplies, it'd be a shame to let them go to waste.
Yeah, I mean, I could see us doing that. I'm assuming the people we found on this planet we're taking with us. So it's not like we would be taking supplies from people who needed it.
Right. Yeah, and who knows? Beacon could probably use them. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's foodstuffs over there, they could deliver those to other colonies, right? So figure what the hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not a bad plan. Look out at that ship.
it just looks foreboding as it sits there in that glow. The doors open, the dust that's blown across the planks way that leads up inside the ship. You can see some of the blinking power lights on still inside the cockpit. The ship is fully operational. It's you're not sure what the status of it is fuel wise, but supposedly you've got a fully functional working second ship over there. You can do whatever you want with it, but
Interesting.
it's up to you guys.
And remind me, what designation is this ship? Like, is it a private ship? Is it UPP?
It looks like it has become a modified Corvus vessel. Corvus are typically used for commercial vessels. Some of them have been engineered to be exploratory craft or science vessels. This one looks like it has been heavily modified. It has weapons on it, first of all. You guys do remember coming across that it had a weapon system on it, which ain't exactly legal, but yeah, aside from that, you would have to probably get Isaac or somebody over there. You and Isaac would probably be the most qualified to give that ship a once-over to find out what you could use from it. If you wanted to strip it down or if you guys wanted to actually use it.
That could be very fun, actually. Shopping. Cool. All right. Well, nice chatting with you, Connor. I'm gonna go roam around the ship and maybe put some food in my belly.
Seriously, though, he swivels in the flight chair as far as he can go, and then he gets up on the back and says, as he stands up and leans against it, and says, "We're not going to stay here too much longer, are we? I really don't like this place."
Yeah, no, I don't either. I think we need at least another half a day to a day, depending on how long it takes to look at that ship and take what we want to take from it.
Right.
Also hoping we don't find anything like what we found in that station.
All right. Well, if we're going to be here for another day, I'm going to go ahead and cool the engines. I've had them warmed up this whole time thinking we might need to run.
Yeah, if it's better.
Yeah, it's better. The lady needs some sleep. I don't want to keep the engines hot like this the whole time.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll take her down then. He looks over and you see him flip a couple of switches, and Mother starts to load up this flight control panel just blinks onto the screen, and he taps it a couple of times and it leaves standby mode and begins shutting down. Everyone throughout the ship, you can also hear the main reactor still online, but you can hear the main engines, the ambient hum of the engines constantly rumbling, and the standby begin to slowly shut down.
Night, sweet prince.
And he turns on the running lights inside. Says, "All right. Don't forget to get something to eat."
Yep. I tap the top of the door as I leave.
All right.
Head
You
out.
head out. With that, we're going to take our 10-minute break. When we come back, we're going to find out what the crew of the Elios plans to do. You going to be checking out that other ship? You planning on leaving? How much further are you going to dig deep into this? There's a few things that are still unanswered. You've got a little bit of the story now as to why this all happened, but there are still questions. And then there's the ship. Not to mention, you've just been given the location of a colony, or at least the name of one. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Beacon, everyone. We're back from our break. Let's go ahead and jump in where we last left off, which is the crew in this moment of respite trying to figure out what their next move is. You were sent here to retrieve Dr. Brown. You've got him. He is currently in the infirmary healing, but you've unraveled a little bit of this mystery of the violence that's broken out here at JINX Colony, and you've discovered the presence of this dangerous pathogen that might have been used as a bioweapon during the war and is apparently hunted after by some of the biggest players in all of the American governments and corporate world. So right now, everyone is recovering, and the narrative is yours. Whatever you guys wish to do, whatever the crew of the Elios wants to do next. There is, of course, the question of the other ship. There's a question of the other colony. There's getting Dr. Brown back in time because he needs to be at Beacon Station when the Mother mission arrives. What do you all do?
Well, the first thing Doc is doing is he's going to go to a part of the ship that's not being occupied.
There's plenty of those.
And light up a cigarette.
Okay.
And drink some coffee.
Okay. Yeah. In which case, the cigarette reduces your point of stress by 1, and the coffee immediately gives it back.
No way.
Yes.
Yep.
Coffee gives you a point of stress, but it also removes the sleepy condition.
Yeah.
So you
I like that. I think that's beautiful,
Yeah.
actually. That's perfect.
Yep. So you find yourself down in, we'll say you're in the upper landing bay area, where the claws that are stored in order to lift a lot of the heavy crane and like essentially like a lot of the heavy cargo units that are shipped onto the Elios whenever you are all setting out for big missions. This is a place where not even Isaac really needs to occupy very often because it's not in use unless you guys are planet side. You're just up here on the catwalk and enjoying a rare moment of quiet amongst the hum of the engine of the Elios. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say anyone is welcome to bother his peace.
Oh, good, because actually,
Since you mentioned it.
Martha's doing a little kind of reverse. Dang, what's the word where you're looking for a thing?
Investigation.
No, like a more like party game type of like looking for
Scavenger
options.
hunt?
Thank you. Wow, brain.
Okay.
Yeah, like a reverse scavenger hunt, looking for like what's the best place to hide this thing. Because if we're going on that other ship, I'm not bringing it with us. I still don't feel lovely about leaving it on the ship at all. But as long as I feel like I don't tell anyone where, so I actually don't want any of the other characters to know where I'm hiding it. But I'm trying to think of somewhere that's not close to any type of ventilation or nothing where it could, spread throughout the ship. No systems that are like going to spread throughout the ship. Maybe I'd love to like a secured trunk somewhere in
Got like a biohazard container or something.
Maybe, no, I want it to be incognito, but secure. So like a trunk that's, sorry, I'm asking for a lot. What I'm asking for is one of those, oh my God, I'm thinking of Knights of the Old Republic. They had those trunks that were like connected to, there were metal trunks that were connected to the metal floors. And you would just open them up and they would, that's where you could get some loot and stuff.
Oh, like the Foot Lockers.
Yeah, Foot Locker. Yeah, like that. So I'd like to find a really good secure metal Foot Locker somewhere and tuck it away in there and secure it the fuck out of it.
Well, the only place you're going to find Foot Lockers are in the machinery bays where a lot of the tools are kept, or in the crew, which would be up on deck A, which would be the crew cryo deck area near the galley.
Not there, so machinery.
Yeah, so then that's going to be down in that. Now you're in Isaac's territory, so that's going to be down on the cargo. Well, that would probably be. Yeah, I don't know if that would be on the cargo deck. I feel like that might actually be in the engineering control room, which is, I believe that is on, which deck is that? It's deck C. So you'll be in deck C. That's just above the cargo area. And in fact, is connected because of this large central area where cargo is lifted and carried into the Elios whenever you're all shipping out huge pallets of cargo. This is multiple floors going up a couple of decks. So Doc is actually topside and can gaze down into the cargo area. The entry into the engineer control room is on the bottom floor of the cargo deck of deck C. So Doc can actually see from his vantage point people coming and going in this cavernous garage that is built into the Elios.
Okay, well, let me see. You
can try to stealth it.
Yeah, I know. Like,
there's also, you can try to stealth it.
I think it's more so would
there's
Martha notice Doc up there?
There's also the maintenance bay. I just realized it's an entirely separate maintenance bay, which is towards the front of the ship. Because the engineering control room definitely has the tools required in order to work with the reactor, which Isaac has to work with a lot. The maintenance bay is for every other part of the ship, and that's towards the front of the ship, and nobody is up there right now. But you should be aware, Isaac frequents that area because that's where a lot of the tools of the trade that Isaac uses to keep the Elios flying. It's all kept. Those are the other.
I am, after all, the maintenance bay.
Is there anywhere like near one of those places? So not maybe in those.
There is, but you're not going to find a Foot Locker there. The nearest place is the nearest place to the maintenance bay is the coolant cylinders. And there's really nowhere to store anything like that in there.
No.
Though it does you do get the impression that this thing is meant to be kept cold.
Yeah.
Am I seeing Martha kind of go?
I don't
back
think
and
so
forth?
yet, because we
Okay.
haven't. She hasn't decided what her destination is yet. Everything else, this entire deck, C deck and down. I mean, really, Isaac being essentially the chief engineer of the Elios, this entire deck and the deck below is basically Isaac's domain. This is where Isaac basically keeps the Elios flying. It's going to be difficult to put this somewhere where Isaac isn't going to find it, because a lot of the places that you're looking for, particularly a secure place, the locker, there's a good chance Isaac might come across it.
You
But
might get really bored when you're asleep. I
Okay.
wonder
and
a
that
lot
leads to
of
her
places.
and Martha, that leads to like all sorts of feelings of, once again, like no one must find this. She's getting that kind of like hot potato. Oh, and there I go.
El Gato has arrived.
Yeah, and suddenly no
Now
one
the
expects
cat-
the El Gato.
It's Watson. Watson. It's Watson.
Yeah.
I warned y'all in the
That's right.
beginning.
It's Watson.
El Gato has struck again.
I didn't think it'd be quite so catty.
So what would you all like to do?
I'm gonna take some time to look around for a spot to hide this, but also I wouldn't mind running into Doc and having a moment.
No, you can absolutely do that.
In that case, I think Doc is gonna kind of have seen you going back and forth and just Martha.
Well, let me ask this, Martha, are you pacing back and forth, or did you decide a destination before you departed?
No, yeah, I'm
Or do you-
looking. Literally, it's like reverse scavenger hunt. I'm looking around for a place.
So
to
you're
hide this.
exhibiting that sort of that behavior of like, oh shit, what do I do with this?
Maybe not as nervous, because I think Martha's just like inside melting, like
I see.
biohazard in my pocket. Where do I put it? But I think she's just kind of like, okay,
Meandering.
meandering. Maybe a little. It looks intentional though.
Okay.
Not too nervous, but definitely intentional in a way that's like, what are you
Okay.
doing? Like, what is happening? It
Sure.
looks weird, but not nervous.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what you see. And yes, I would say I cross down into that like lower area where you see me, and I'm not gonna see you.
Martha, you need help with anything?
Oh, hey Doc.
Hey, I was trying to stay out of sight, as I'm not one to promote such bad habits, but I couldn't help but see you walking around a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've really paced the floors of this whole ship. Just kind of
Yeah.
enjoying
Oh,
every nook and cranny.
of course, cardio is important.
That too. Yep. Yeah, I thought I smelled cigarette smoke.
Yeah, it's not the best for you. Secondhand is not great either. I apologize.
It'll air out.
So, I mean, I suppose I should get some cardio in myself. Would you mind terribly if I joined you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's yeah.
All
That's
right.
cool.
So what do we? Is this a power walking thing that we're doing here? Or?
Sorry, what? What'd you say?
Well, I was wondering what kind of exercise you were doing. Is it power walking? Are we running suicides? I haven't done those since I was a young man.
No, I'm more in a kind of like evening constitutional walk mode. Just kind of letting my mind wander and taking in every part of the ship.
Well, I mean, if you would like to think by yourself, that's more than good. But if you need to talk or if you need help with anything, well, I am here.
Mm. No, I would love your company, Doc.
All right. Now, what's on your mind?
A lot.
Now,
getting...
I was just gonna say, is that an invitation for me to dig deeper, or should we just leave it at a lot?
No, we're gonna dig deeper. I feel like I just like, the carnage we saw today, and knowing what caused it all, and I'm supposed to be the Corps' eyes and ears out here on the frontier and report things back to them. And I just wonder, no one should have those kind of weapons, that kind of power to change life, to cause harm. No one should have it. And then what is my role? Lieutenant Marrero, reporting back. What do I say? What do I tell them?
In an ideal world, what would you do?
I would nuke all of these things we're finding, these bioweapons, from space. Make it so that no one could ever use them again. Just wipe them out of existence. But I don't know how to do that. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a biologist. I don't know how to make these things go bye-bye. But that's what I would like to do.
When I was up there smoking myself, I was having a good think about all the stuff we've seen. I mean, if we blasted them off to space, hell, they went and found this stuff and then put it in people. And
it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
And for what purpose? To get some slight tactical advantage, but you can't control it for more than 2 seconds. It's a monster.
Yeah. I was thinking we've got so much proof. We got so much evidence, and I mean, who would listen?
Yeah. God, Doc, I think you kind of helped me decide what to do.
Well, I didn't mean to, but I'm glad that it worked. You can always talk to me, Martha.
I know. Honestly, Doc, it's better for less people to know.
Oh. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to leave you to it. My boy, even when he was a Marine, he was still my boy. And I saw what I put in him. And it never went away. It was just surrounded by everything that they taught him. If you ever question what you are, what you're doing, I'm sure some good people put something good in you too. So just dig a little deeper. There's more to you than just being a lieutenant.
Yeah.
I'm actually so glad I don't have to do any exercise here. I thought you was actually going to run me through that. I was not looking forward to it.
I mean, if you ever want to. I usually do that in the morning, though.
Oh, no, that's all right.
You sure? I get up at 5. You should join me sometime if you want.
Yeah, I'll tell you that I will. And he pats you on the back.
Oh, don't tell me that you will if you're not going to, because I will make you. If you say you will, I'm going to make you do it.
Then I will not tell you that I will. I've got patience to check on. Look at that.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
He just takes what's left of the cigarette, puts it out with his boot, and goes walking away from Martha as fast as possible before he gets asked to do an exercise.
We should party with speed walking away.
Wait, Doc, I do have
yes?
I do have another question for you.
wait. Go ahead. I'll more than happy to answer.
You're a doctor, so you have some chemistry knowledge, biology,
Some.
a lot of biology.
Don't tell anybody, but I passed it with a C. But yes,
better than I did. I never took biology. Anyway, that stuff, the biogenic, the biohazard weapon. If you ran a scan on it, or actually no, you didn't. Never mind. But if you were to run a scan on it, do you think you could figure out a way to neutralize it, to destroy it, get rid of it?
That's another thing I've been thinking about, which is, do I even have the right to? Now, if I take a look into it and I discover that is material that is living, that I simply do not understand, then I think that the best case is to just leave it lie. Now, if this is some sort of synthesized or manipulated creation designed only to cause death and destruction, well, there are things that all manners of life require. There might be some differences, most things on the earth require oxygen. Fish just figure out how to get it in water. We figured out how to get it in land.
How would you feel about doing a science experiment? I mean, I think you brought up a really good question. If this thing is living, we kind of need to know. Sorry, I'm not being very subtle. I take the sample out of my pocket and I show it to him.
Oh, mercy. Okay. All right.
I open the case and show him the vial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You twist the top of this thing, and there's a hiss as some of the cold air blasts out from the side of it. And you pull it up, and you see a full black, abyssal black vial of this liquid. At that point, too, as you pull it out and you see the vial, it's perfectly intact. But Martha, you do suddenly realize that the power that is keeping this constantly refrigerated and cold is all but spent.
Okay.
It shows that it actually has very little energy left to keep this thing refrigerated.
Do I see a port or anything that looks like a charger?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It looks like
Great.
you can plug into a port.
Martha can figure that out. Okay, good.
And you just hold it open, Martha, and look, and basically see the flashing battery light.
Oh, crap. I'm going to have to charge this thing soon, but...
Understood.
Yeah.
I am mesmerized by the luck of this party. I'm just utterly mesmerized at how y'all stumble into not dying.
Did you roll on that on the case?
I have been rolling a D6 the way you roll for rations and air.
Oh
I have been
God.
rolling for the power system of this thing since you picked it up.
So
we got great timing. We got great storytelling timing. I don't know what else there is to say.
I've just been walking around with a ticking time bomb in my pocket.
Oh.
I still feel like it was the right choice to not hide it yet because I'm scared. So yeah, I hate this thing, but I also, I felt this strange need to protect it.
All right.
Maybe it's alive. I don't know, but I need some answers on it so we can figure out what to do with it.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, opening this is not what we want to do, but if we can run some other type of scans, like spectrometer scans, see what chemical compounds are in there. I don't know. I don't do that kind of science. You do more than I do.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think that if we are going to run even the most basic preliminary test on this, it would be better to do so in the facilities here rather than the ship.
Yes.
If
Yes.
for whatever reason, if anything goes wrong, we could quarantine it in those facilities and keep everybody on the ship safe. Everybody should be made aware as to what is occurring so that they can tell us how very silly of an idea it is. But I do agree that I do think some further understanding might be necessary.
Can I just request that we only tell the crew and not our guests?
Oh well, absolutely. They are guests after all. But
Is that okay? I mean, I know ethically it's kind of dicey, but I'm not sure what's going on with Aaron, West. Also, Nathan seems nice and all, but I just don't know where people's loyalties lie. And this is also very valuable. I trust our crew.
There's no need to
steal it and sell it on the black market. So
yeah. I would like to discover if this is a living specimen. This is, oh goodness. Yes, I trust you to take care of that, but if we could get that off of the ship as soon as possible and into the facilities out there, that would be fantastic. And pulls out another cigarette.
Understandable. Can I grab one too?
Yeah. Yes.
It's been a day.
Okay. The two of you share a cigarette here. While
I put the thing away, by the way.
Bioweapon ever encountered by humankind rests in your pocket. Literally a mutation of the very thing that brought life to Earth. You just kind of stuff it in your pocket, and
I mean, directly after this, I'm gonna go to my locker and look for something to charge this thing with.
Like, can we? How low is the power source?
Low enough that we should probably walk to my locker right now.
It is blinking an alert that it is dying.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
We're gonna plug it in somewhere.
Yeah, it's not difficult to find a compatible port, because even if you couldn't, you or Isaac one could certainly jury rig that.
Yeah.
So you managed to start feeding it some power.
Also, Eric, I have a very silly question.
Ask your silly question.
How many cryo beds do we have?
You mean for hypersleep?
Mm-hmm.
The Elios, I believe it has a complement for the full complement of crew, and the full complement of crew only. I don't believe the Elios is currently equipped to, but keep in mind, Isaac does not use one. So even though one would have been set aside for Isaac, it's not
perfect. So there's a spare. That's
give me one sec, because the Elios might actually have
the air and spare.
Because if worst case scenario, if we need this thing in cold,
there's also the coolant room. I was thinking that could also be a good backup.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options the moment that engineering gets brought into it.
Mm-hmm.
We also may need those cryo beds, unless we just want to abandon two people here with no realistic ability to survive.
The cryo beds currently on the Elios can accommodate. There are 8 that can accommodate you.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because we had to take Lucas back. How could we have taken Lucas?
Yeah, we lost the other.
We're supposed to take 2 with us,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Heather and Lucas.
Did Heather die? What happened to Heather?
Yeah, Heather died. We confirmed that.
Okay. All right. So then we have Nathan, Siegs, Lucas, and West / Aaron. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 guests and 4 sleeping crew.
Y'all are maxed out.
3 sleeping crew. Oh no, 4 because Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all are maxed out.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah.
You do have a second ship. You don't know if it has a hypersleep chamber, but presumably it does if it's making interstellar travel.
Yeah. It might be worth, Doc, as we're walking up to my locker to get this thing plugged in, it might be worth us checking out that ship and seeing if there's any type of containment that we don't have on our ship. like a biocontainment? Because that might be a good place to run some scans on this thing.
I was thinking so as well, but their medical facilities are compromised by the corpse that is in that ship.
Oh yeah, what? This is also Eliza having missed those sessions.
Mhm.
What did y'all find on that ship?
There is a dead body that has been left out into the environment. Died ugly, and I have reason to believe it is contaminated by the very same
Oh,
material that you have. So
okay.
that ship may be compromised. Now, if there's a way for us to sanitize it, and then that would be a fantastic idea. Whoever is to go across the ship to accomplish that task, I just think they should be aware of the risks.
Well, I mean, it's like chicken and the egg. You know, we want to scan this thing to find out how to get rid of it, but there's literally a contaminated corpse blocking our way to have a space to do that. So I don't know. Yeah, I have no answers. Maybe we should just all get together and talk through our options.
I'm thinking that might be a good idea. I mean, fortunately, we have Isaac, who is in much better shape, and if anybody can remove that corpse without risk, it would be them. But
yeah, we'd still want to put a suit, decontamination suit, decontamination. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and
biohazard suit on Isaac. But yeah,
and we need to make sure Isaac is willing.
Yep, of course. Have we gotten to our locker yet? My locker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see you guys can time it so that you arrive at the end of the conversation.
Doc, you see me open my locker, put in like a very long digital code, partially covering my hand with it.
Doc's pulling one of these.
And I open it, and you just see like tech stuff, bits of tech stuff, like a jacket, some like long sleeve, long john insulated shirts. It's a mess in there. She a mess. And I just pull out all these wires and cables like a mad scientist. Like, no, that's not. No. Oh, ooh, this one might work. Do you want me to roll to see if I actually find one that works?
No, I'm fine for saying. Okay. Yeah, again, this is kind of falling into the path of, especially in the game of Alien, where you can accumulate stress quite easily. Yeah. Don't roll if you don't have to. It's easy to say.
Cigarette.
Not to mention, Martha is. You are the software engineer of the party. You are the counterintelligence. It's easy enough to find something you could probably use to plug this into.
Okay. All right, Doc, if you're okay with it, I don't want to leave this thing alone, but I think I'm going to take it down to the coolant room and plug it in there so that there's a little backup if the battery doesn't charge properly. And then I'll come back up and maybe we can all talk.
If it's all the same, I think with the amount of beeps and boops I heard on your locker security code, it might be safer in your locker, but I understand. You can take wherever you...
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I can like bring some cooling things into my locker. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's go get like an ice bucket.
let's go find a team.
All right. I plug it into the battery of my SSID, so it's at least getting some juice while we figure out what to do next.
Okay.
And I'll put it back in the locker, I guess. Yeah. Bloop.
Okay. Seal it up into the locker.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go meet up with the rest of the crew to have a conversation with them about what to do next.
Yeah.
Eric asking questions has got a lot.
I know, right? Right.
What's that?
I said you asking questions has gotten a lot scary.
You're gonna put it in the locker.
I'm tracking everyone's decisions. There's a lot of moving parts. So
yeah.
All right.
Oh God.
So then what has everyone else been doing while this has been? Has anybody else been doing anything while this is happening, or do you all just want to meet up and have a ship meeting, basically?
Is it
So-
like nighttime, like late at night kind
It's
of?
ship time. It is technically late. It would be creeping up on about 11:30 at night ship time. At this point, if you all just want to meet in the galley, that's on the same deck as the infirmary. It's just a quick walk down the corridor.
I think that's
Take 2 turns and you're there. But yeah, we could just cut to you guys all gathering around the table, much like you see in the movie Alien. In the gallery, the galley is very comfortable looking. It has that booth table set up where it's very large and spacious for multiple crew members to slide into at the center table, as well as a couple of TV units that actually will pick up some of the news that's being broadcast out this far into the frontier, and data readouts from other. There's a couple of knickknacks and accoutrements that have been left behind from all the other crews that have used the Elios. You all walk in and can see a pot of coffee has already been started brewing. And you all have the floor as the crew members, each of you, of course, leaving. Well, Manager Kelly starts to just follow you out of the. He basically just starts leaving the infirmary with you, assuming that he is going with you to whatever this is. And he's just rubbing his hands, going, "Okay, so what should we do next?" As I'm guessing at this point, since you've all agreed to meet in the galley, he's just kind of following whoever's walking. This could be Tig or whoever was in the infirmary. He is just walking behind you, just going.
Tig was keeping an eye on the patients while everybody was out, so I think
Everyone's pretty much asleep at this point. Yeah.
And I think she probably has an inkling of what we're going to be talking about. And so she kind of like notices him following her and goes, "Oh, she puts her like fingers, like back her fingers to her forehead. Are you feeling okay?
Yes. Why?
You've had a long day. When is the last time you slept?"
Oh, I guess it's been. I mean, I guess it's been a while. Yeah, I think
that answer.
Well, I've been kind of napping a lot. Like I slept a little bit last night, but not much. Nakamoto.
Okay, that's a Band-Aid.
Okay.
You need a full night's sleep, buddy.
Okay. Well, I feel like I should be present for any decision making that might be happening. I'm still in charge of this place, and I have a duty to my employer to make sure that. Are we leaving? Are we? We're
having late dinner right now, as far as I'm aware.
Great. I'm starved. I don't think I've had it like anything but bucket rations from the emergency.
All right, let's get you fed and let's get you into bed. Doctor's orders, all right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sure.
Okay. Dick has no idea if anybody wants him there, so she's like, "Okay, I gotta give him an out."
Okay.
So shows up with Kelly and is like, "Gotta get this one fed."
He waves to everybody kind of awkwardly. Hi. Is everyone okay? Everyone doing okay?
We're doing fantastic.
Great.
We're just having a mission overview. Going over everything that's occurred, seeing where we can be better.
Having dinner. She sets rations in front of him so they'll start eating.
Sure. Thank you. I just wanted to say that obviously I didn't know what Nakamoto was doing. I black market. That he was dealing with pirates. He would leave the facility from time to time, but that wasn't unusual for anybody. There was always outings, expeditions, and Nakamoto being security, I always felt bad keeping him cooped up in there. He'd sometimes request to go out on walks, and there's always times to do that where it's not dangerous, and the employees are welcome to do that. I just didn't realize he might have been doing other things too. He would have had to have been doing it away from the station. Mother would have picked up on it unless Mother knew about it, and I didn't know about it, is I guess what I'm trying to say. I didn't realize. Oh, thank you. You hand him his colonial, this little like tray of food that you guys all get. He pulls the plastic wrap off it as steam rises up from it. He says, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that you all felt like that I'm very grateful to all of you. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm grateful. And also it's important to note that because you have saved my life and you've brought a criminal in, as well as saved the life of Dr. Brown and the facility, that I'm sure Wayland Utani will want to compensate all of you for everything that you've done to help. Beacon, obviously, compensate Beacon, but also you all deserve something, I would think. So I just wanted to put that out there. And, if you continue getting me and the others out of here safely, then I'm sure we can arrange something for each of you. I just wanted to tell you all that. So thank you for dinner. And I guess I'll... I don't really have quarters. Did you... I don't want to intrude. You seem like you...
I'm gonna be sleeping in the medical facilities. I gotta keep an eye on my patients. You're more than welcome to.
Oh, thank you. Where are they?
Just down to the left. It's the ones with all the books strewn about.
Thank you. I'll go. Thank you.
I'll walk him. Tig's gonna take a walk.
Tig, by the way, nobody has quarters on this ship. Doc is referring to the hypersleep chamber.
Yeah.
So you just walk him out of the room as he's holding his prefab meal and just nods. He says, "Thank you. Thank you all again for all of your hard work."
No problem. This is the mission.
He steps out of the room with Tig. A few minutes later, Tig returns alone.
Some people can't take the hint, huh?
He's had
all
a
right.
day too.
That is true.
Connor
just says, "What are we gonna do with him? I'm not suggesting anything nefarious or anything, but I mean, he's gonna go back and tell Waylon and Utoni everything. Like, we should probably tell the authorities or something, right? I guess that's what this meeting is. What are we going to do? What does everyone want to do? What is the plan here?"
Well, there are some parts that I truly believe in. There are some parts that are rather shaky. And then there are the holes that I need y'all to fill for me. So let's start with the ugly, shall we? We have acquired, from the looks of it, a sample of the material that has caused all this ruckus. I would very much like to study it to see if it is a living thing and to see if there is any way to destroy it. I think that this would be best done in the facilities there or in the other ship, which brings us to the ugly matter number 2. If we are to do the studying in the other ship, it will need to be sanitized, as the corpse there is contaminated with the very substance that I would like to study.
That medical bay is pretty out of date, Doc. I'm not sure. If we've got to do extra steps just to get in there and do it safely, it might be. Might as well use, if you've got to do it, might as well use the Waylon Yutani setup down here.
That's what I was thinking. Just so long as we are doing it far and away from the Elios.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
are we operating at a lower level of biosafety protocol than is indicated by the hazard in question? Because I'm not sure that a mining facility's research is equipped for biosafety level 4 substances.
We don't want to actually open it up. It's in a vial, which is also in a pretty secure cooling case. We just want to basically just shine some light at it and see what reflects back, see what it's made up of.
Then can't we
But
just
no,
put it under any optical microscope?
Well, yeah, that's definitely one step to do. Doc?
from what I've seen of it, and I have not seen much, it's responsive and aggressive. If we attempt to study this thing and it seems to pose a threat to us, I say that we end our curiosities and destroy it.
Yeah, also, Related note, that other ship has weapons. Maybe we could nuke this thing from space. I mean, I just feel like that's not going to do anything, but it might be worth trying.
Space. I point at the sun.
Yeah, we can throw it into the sun. See what happens. I won't feel comfortable until the scientists have more science on this thing, because I just feel like throwing it into the sun could turn the sun into a goo monster. I don't know the rules of this thing. And it's freaking me out. I didn't do science at all.
Technology. That's a science, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess like living sciences, you know? Except for...
like biology.
Yeah. Except for your kind of living science. I did study that. I know a little bit of that. But like...
Ooh, I count.
Oh, yeah.
As biology. But not organics.
The only other thing that I could think of is we have a Wayland Yutani mid-level manager.
Mm-hmm.
We're not giving him the sample for science.
Yeah. I also, Tig and Isaac, I've already told the doc, and I've actually told Tig too, I'm not giving this to the Marine Corps, the Colonial Marines. No. I refuse to turn any bioweapon over. So I'm willing to just not go through them, not report back about this, and we figure it out on our own.
Look, we've got a Wayland Yutani manager, mid-level. We've got a pirate that was working under the direct orders of a Wayland Yutani security. We have got a sample of this illicit material. We've got documentation on it, and just in there, we got the corpse of somebody that suffered under this material. It's a strong case. I would like to reach out to... It's the UN that we're working. It's the UN that we're working for under Beacon, correct?
Yes, you guys are the UN essentially.
Yeah.
You're just a branch of it. Yeah.
I would like to reach out to the UN proper. Show them what we have.
Didn't we have a contact there who helped us get this funding?
Yeah, I don't know about that though, Doc. I know you gotta have some faith in some systems, but I don't know which systems we can have faith in right now.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, he said earlier that that even the Marines were looking for this, and if that's the case, then that my scrutiny extends further than it has in the past. Not that I have faith in them anyways, but I don't know. I don't know about bringing anyone in this loop. Isaac?
If so many large institutions are already aware of it, would we be providing them any information they don't have already? Maybe the particulars that there was this person in this place, but the existence of the thing is already quite clear.
They just don't know where. I mean, Z was looking for it. Nakamura had it hidden. No one knows that we found it.
I guess if we can appeal to them, appeal to somebody in some way without letting them know what we have, because I don't know how potent this thing is. If this is like a world-ending amount, or if this is like a passes by breakfast kind of stomachache, stomachache. I don't know if. You know.
I think it's somewhere in between those two things.
Yeah.
But maybe closer to the world ending.
Connor?
Yeah, I just wanted to know where the fuck it came from. Were they
theoretically,
making it here?
No, Delphini 46.
2D.
2D.
So how
Is
did
the system. They found it.
the
Pirates found it for Nakamura.
pirates found it for Nakamura?
Yeah.
So there might be more of it out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really lets you sleep well at night, doesn't it? Thinking about that.
What was Nakamura going to do with it?
That's the question.
Yeah.
He must have contacts or something.
And
Or-
Nakamura is dead, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Very.
But his records aren't.
Want to do some digging, Martha?
Oh, yeah.
Some computers, some personal
That's right.
logs, some messaging.
I have that. Yes. Okay.
Let's find some dirt.
Let me
see what
just
he's
go
been
grab
hiding.
it now. Yeah, I'm gonna run back to my locker and grab. Because yeah, I did take his.
You
Some,
found-
Took stuff off of him,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I forgot
In
about
his
that.
room. Mm-hmm.
Besides the.
Yep.
The death
The death
little-
serum.
death box. So yeah.
A quick dash back to you see Kelly look up as you run into where your locker is, and he goes, "Oh, did you need any?" And you run out.
Yeah. No. Grab it.
He just good back to eating
Poor guy.
his fish stick.
Go to
as,
bed. What are you doing? I'm gonna yell that.
You dash back into the room holding the data pad that you'd acquired from Nakamura.
Crap! I just realized. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna try to hack it without my SSID.
Yeah, you activate it, and immediately you see the Wayland Yutani logo pop up and a passcode request.
Oh, great. Dear old corporate friends and their encryption. My SSID is currently charging the thing that, keeps the bioweapon from killing us all. So I'm not used to having to do this analog. I don't know. I want to try to guess the password.
Okay, you randomly tap a couple of buttons, and it immediately lets you know that it says 2 guesses left.
Oh yeah, let's
okay.
he's a security guy who'd been working under his manager for who knows how long, while also being running the entire operation. So I feel like maybe we should use everything we have to our advantage. Is there anything we can swap that charging out with?
Mother.
Can we charge it off of me?
Do you want to?
Why not? I'm
Wait.
a power source.
Sorry.
I'm very
wait.
high energy. My supervisor said so.
So wait. How much free space does Isaac have
What do you mean?
Hard drive?
physically?
Oh,
Like
Physically.
To be able to store data?
No.
store object.
Physical store object. Physical space
Like
in Isaac, like
Put
Inside
the
Isaac?
secret inside me.
I mean, it's
we charge the thing, and it'd never be safer.
I am
always-
practically indestructible.
this is a good idea.
I mean, we
They'll
just gotta
also
look inside.
finitely structurally sound.
Yes.
You might recall my skull was crushed.
Yes. Right.
I can
That
be
took a lot. That was
crushed.
extenuating circumstances.
This box is
Well-
pretty sturdy. I just would want to make sure. No. If it's plugged into you from the
It obviously
inside,
recall, but
that'd be cool.
I mean,
I suggested it.
that would
Yeah.
take a certain level of surgery to do,
Yeah,
because even though Isaac could theoretically essentially act as a transport for this, but Isaac's internal functions would still need to operate. It's entirely possible to do that with a contact check. Just
Well,
literally
well,
make an incision,
for-
find a
for
place where
that-
you might make it able to fit, and
I mean, my question is,
are we all thinking it?
what's the temperature inside ice?
um,
I mean, in its container, like
It'll be
it's cool
cool.
container.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Isaac will power the cooling
Power it, yeah.
of the case itself.
Okay.
synthetics kind of run at a lower temperature. They require a lot of the fluids that they have is required in order to operate. But synthetics, of course, can survive vacuum. Like it's the fluid that synthetics uses is naturally resistant to the crystallization effect of being in
The
the
hot
vacuum.
parts of me would be the computer, would be my brain that would need to give off heat. The rest of me doesn't require the same temperature homeostasis to maintain my proteins because I don't do that the same way.
If you're
there's nothing wrong with it.
If you're asking if this thing ran out of power, would it stay cold inside of Isaac? The answer is no. Unless Isaac was in space. There's nothing, it would simply run out of refrigeration. You also don't know what
we're trying to connect like power supply Isaac as the power supply.
No, you wouldn't be able to use Isaac as a battery for this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
That Isaac, synthetics cannot be essentially used as an alternate power source. Their operations they're not like data. They don't operate quite like that. They are, for all intents and purposes, they are just a synthetic biological life form, but it is made of synthetic material and whatnot. Their power, it's all derived from that synthetic bioengineered synthetic muscle fiber and fluids and whatnot. They don't exactly have like a battery pack plug-in the way you would think. It operates in a different capacity. They can't just lend their power to they have the amount of power required in order to operate, but they do not function as like walking battery packs unless they're working Joes. If it's a working Joe, that's a little bit different because those are less synthetic biological machine style. They're not nearly sophisticated or as advanced as Isaac. They are literally just walking rubberized robots that have a stronger internal core and work differently. Rubberized skin. You could rip one of those apart and steal a power core from it. But if you were to pull Isaac apart and pull the power core from it, you'd probably only really be able to use it to restore Isaac or boot up Isaac's memory and some such, but it can't be used in such a way. And if you were going to use Isaac's power core to power something, you'd probably end up killing the synthetic involved. It would be like borrowing your heart to find out if somebody could use it for a while. Think of it like that.
If we could fit a safe enough power supply in this case into Isaac, we could still use Isaac to hide and transport this thing.
We could run it off of a piezo-based power source.
What is
Isaac's
that?
move. Piezo, so like you can generate piezoelectric power from movement effectively.
Oh.
That is a thing that one can do. Isaac moves. Isaac powers battery. Battery powers coolant.
That is going to require a feat of engineering. Not that it's impossible, but it's going to require designing and building a system for that and to install inside of Isaac.
And see, Mr. Dr. President, impressive, completely agrees. Look, the paws have it. Anyway, just an option for consideration.
Well, if this is going to be like an extensive design situation, I would love to do a little
research
investigation. Yeah, like, you know what specifically I want to know right now is how much power does this case need? I don't have it here. It's in my locker.
Yeah,
but how much power
you
does
would
it
definitely
need?
You would definitely need to figure out what kind of case it is, because it looks like it's a custom job. It looks like it was made specifically to transport small biosamples, and it doesn't look like a standard biosample transport. It looks like it was designed pretty specifically.
When I went back to my locker, can we say that I looked at my SSID power and like even generally, like, how much power has it sucked from my device so far?
I mean, it's basically empty. Yeah, I mean, it's a coolant device, so it is not just running on the SSD device actually does not require a huge power draw. This thing is refrigerating a biosample and does. So when you go back and check it out, you'll see that it's added about a single unit out of 6. So it's not dying anymore, but your SSD is not doing so hot. It's going to need a full recharge.
I figured it wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, this is a good jury rig job, but you'll need to refrigerate it proper.
Need to plug it in.
Okay, can we like plug it into a wall outlet in this room with us while we do this, or is that like, does it need its own specific
that's totally possible. I mean, if all you would really need is somebody brilliant at that kind of thing, like Martha, and you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, let's go get your SSD card. Let's get it charging somewhere else while we do this hack and get more information before we start making like extensive engineering plans. If people are that makes sense. Okay.
I go back to my locker, grab both devices and more cables,
Okay.
and bring them all to the galley.
Okay. And once again, you get okay. And you leave.
Why are you still here? Go to. Did you lose? Did you get lost?
It's been.
What are you
No,
doing?
he needs to sleep. He needs to sleep in the cryopod.
I know.
I'm eating dinner. I thought I was supposed to eat before I get to sleep. What is
Oh,
that?
sorry. I thought you already ate. Sorry.
I started
I'm
10
sorry.
minutes ago. What?
I'm on edge. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. As you were. And I turn and awkwardly leave.
He goes back to poking at the prefab meal that he's.
God.
I'm yeah, everyone's had a bit of a day.
It's a weird day.
You move back into the room and you see this silver canister. Martha puts it down and begins to pull out some wires, runs into the power cup. You see it does look like it looks like an entry port, both for power. It looks like it has a slot too, for perhaps to plug something else into.
Interesting.
And then the thing itself looks like it's currently operating at normal parameters, but it's easy enough to plug. It takes a few minutes to just wire this in. You find an outlet, plug it in, immediately tap into the ship's power source, and it starts to charge.
Okay.
Question.
Mhm.
May I examine the other port?
Sure.
Like, if you just like look at, you can see on
Mhm.
examination, is this like USB-C?
Yes, it looks like a
kind
data
of
port.
question.
It looks like a data port.
So I
Looks
was
like you can
confused.
plug it into something.
Yeah.
You can connect it
Secondary
somehow.
question about that.
Mhm.
You know how like power outlets
Mhm.
are regional,
Mhm.
for instance. Woe betide your blow dryer if you don't take it into account. Is this data port like commonly used in UPP equipment? Wayland Yutani? Is it just a generic like USB-C? Anything notable about that?
Make a
style
heavy
of port?
machinery check.
I would love to, Eric Campbell. Dice. Nope, more dice. This is a heavy machinery check. Nope, more dice. This is a heavy machinery check. One. I roll so many dice.
Isaac, it looks like a modular port that this doesn't look like it's native to any particular company or government or anything. What it looks like is it looks like it's designed that it sort of functions as a universal port. It doesn't seem to have fidelity to any single makeup. It looks like probably designed in case that it would be, you get the impression just from looking at it from your heavy machinery check that the design of this thing was made to ensure that this could be charged at all times wherever it is. So you're not getting any information off of that. However, you are certain that the secondary port that you were looking at is probably a diagnostic or data port.
But neither is standards based in any way.
No,
again, like USB sort of thing. Like you need in order for someone else, or you make a special one-off that requires your special one-off cables.
Right. This is basically, I would say it's about on the same level of generic as like the USB-C idea. That looks like both ports are
perfect. That's all
easy to use. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
You're muted.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Martha.
I'm probably looking for a cable that would fit that data port.
That's easy enough to find, especially as a Comtech expert. That is like a standard cable that you could plug into your data pad easy.
Oh, well,
access.
Should I, y'all?
What's the word? Air gap comes to mind, but yes. A device you don't really care about, not networked to anything else. Just go Cylon mode.
Oh, like
just
that other thing we did, which is that still on my pad too? Do I have an AI's mind on my personal pad?
Yes, you do. I'm very aware of it at all times.
Eric, can we say that I do have, or maybe even the ship just has like some extra datapad devices that I could
Like in a
use instead of
story
my
point
own.
sort of form, perhaps.
A story, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't give you the equipment. I wouldn't give you the equipment functionally like alternative to the specialized equipment that you have. But if you want to have a secondary data point, then yes. If you want to spin a story point, then we can say, "Thank God we brought more than one of these."
Right.
In which case, thank you, Kerrigan29,
Thank you
for that aux point
Thank
and letting them
you.
tweak the narrative a little bit. And Martha, you were able to retrieve a secondary data pad that is typically used for diagnostic and machinery. You bring it over, set it down.
All right. And then, is there a way to plug this in? Sorry, I'm being too cautious. I'm just going to plug it in.
Okay, you plug it in.
I'm just going to plug it in. See what happens.
The screen on the data pad goes blank for a second. And then you see a bar indicating that it's loading up an interface.
Oh.
And
this is well designed.
Popping up on the screen, you see just keeping in mind, this is all in like a green digital format, very similar to how Mother's screen looks. You just see immediately popping up on the screen what looks like a 8-digit empty cipher and a single star on the screen.
Yeah, our favorite symbol. Okay. Well, I'm going to need to hack as per usual. This is 8 digits. It's going to take a little while.
You could technically, yeah, if you wanted to use your Seegson device on this, you technically could, and
like kind of daisy chain.
Yeah, to try to hack it. It kind of does not get rid of it. That's not the air gap though. That is connecting it to. But
yeah,
you also don't. There's a lot of variables, but you would definitely you would either need to use Mother for this, or you would need to use your Seegson device to hack this, because an 8-digit cipher, it's just it would take thousands of years. You're just gonna have to figure. Yeah, you're gonna have to use. So if you want to do it, you can.
Shall I?
As my acting coach would always say when I was late to class, he would say, "Drive fast, take lots of chances."
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Plug in your Seegson device. Your Seegson device begins to interface. It automatically recognizes the daisy chain port and the two things.
One thing, can we just insert before I daisy chained it? I would put it into safe mode so that it's like not being accessed. I mean, whatever else.
You're scared that a fragment of sentient AI that might be lingering inside of your Seegson from a murderous synthetic that almost tried to infect the world with an alien xenomorph might be trying to get in on this. Yeah, let's.
Now that you mention it,
I'm honestly, I'm going to let that be complete. This is being that this is the Alien RPG and that shit gets real and stuff like this happens. I'm going to make that completely dependent on the dice roll.
Okay, great, great. Story point, please.
Take it.
Okay, Guru Matt, thank you for this aux point.
Thank you.
So add an immediate auto success.
Lovely.
And then now you are going to make your wits comtech check.
Okay.
And you do get the bonus for your Seegson device.
Great. We're not using Mother.
Nope.
Is it 2? Wow, I haven't done this roll in a while. What's my Seegson? It's on my PDF copy. It's either 2 or 1. I forget.
On your character sheet?
Yeah. Do you have my character sheet open? I don't. I mean, I have it on Demiplane, but not.
I was like, wow.
Like, what have I been doing this whole time?
That's some gutsy role playing right there.
I'm playing solitaire and being like, oh, yeah, 2 successes.
Just like, I think this is Martha's dice pool. Bam! I succeed.
Yes, it's +2 to comtech check.
That's right. That's what I've got here. The one you posted for me. Okay, cool. So yeah, go ahead and
so 1,
roll.
2. All right.
Yeah.
Did it not add my second one? Give me my second one. Where did? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, here we go. Yes, 2 successes plus the story point 3.
So a total of 3.
Yes, I hope that's enough.
Seegson device starts to interface with the login screen, and you see the login screen begin to flicker a little bit, and it goes into what looks like a blank screen with a single line across it, like it's glitching. And then a few moments later, your Seegson device basically registers this data pad looks like, or rather this containment unit looks like it is registered to a single individual. And as you seeing what it is required, you basically using the Seegson device kind of imitate that you are the appropriate login. So jumping the code and breaking into this, you see a few moments later that screen pop back up again on the data pad with the looks like stars filling in all of the blank spots for the cipher as it's entered. And it blinks a few times and then that completely disappears. And you see the name Mitya Sokolov recognized. You see the name just pop up across, and the names begin to blink as you see access granted to all this Russian text begin to fill the data screen as it spills down the Seegson device, immediately being translated. And reading across the data screen, you see blood sample from subject 00, and it kind of gives these digit numbers, and alternate strain, heavily modified. You start seeing all this information popping up, and you can practically hear your heartbeat in your ears, Tig, as you see the subject number, the line, the blood sample, the general's name, and you know exactly whose blood sample this was taken from. And that is where we are going to stop our game tonight.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Bring us into this chapter of Beacon.
I have 1 week
dear.
to read 604 pages of the CDC's biosafety protocol. I've downloaded it to PDF.
Good.
I have some nice light airline reading that will in no way trouble my seatmates on the plane.
Oh my God.
So that's going to bring us to a close for now. We will be back next Monday for the next chapter of this story arc in Beacon. We look forward to seeing you then. Before we go, I just want to, as always, give a huge shout out and thanks to our Ox crew and our Ox crew supporters, especially for the donation to the Ox points. You guys, your continuing support to this group that started up over at Geek and Sundry and has continued to tell stories. It's all possible because of your support. So thank you so much forever for letting us keep telling stories and keep hanging out together. Beacon is possible because of you. Until then, though, we will see you next Monday night for the next chapter. This is the crew of the Elios, signing off.
Bye.